Hi everyone, and welcome to Creative Chelsea. If you like this video, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up or commenting below. If you want to see more of my videos, press the subscribe button and click on the bell for notifications. If you need any Stampin' Up! Products to make this card, you can visit my online store and the link is in the description box below. Today I'd like to share with you my second paper pumpkin alternative project using the August 2020 Paper Pumpkin Kit World Greatest. So this was the card that I came up with using the supplies in the kit. I did use just a couple extra supplies from my craft room. These are the original cards you can make with the kit. If you'd like to watch me unbox this subscription kit, you can click on the playlist in the right-hand corner and it will show you the unboxing as well as all my other alternative projects. So the inspiration for this card came from both of these cards, and I kind of just combined them into one, and I took what I liked from each and created this one card. So I really love this blue Argyle background, and I also wanted to pair it with the green watercolor piece. And then with the main element, I wanted to bring in that Bumblebee yellow, and so that's why I stamped the ribbon and metal in that. And then from this card, I wanted to use the leaves in this kind of wreath look. And so I brought that element into the card as well. So let's go ahead and get started making this card. So from my very first alternative project, we had already cut down one of the card bases in half. So this is just a 4 1/4 inches across by 5.5 inches, which will give us a full card front. And then we're going to place it on a regular card base, and this is just thick Whisper White Cardstock, and it's cut to 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. Then we've got the pieces from the kit. We've got one of the large circles, we have the rectangle die cuts, the green watercolor piece, and 2 of the leaves. So to begin, let's start with our stamping. So before we begin our stamping, I wanted to show you the stamp set that came in the kit. So you get 2 large images, you get the ribbon that you would pin to like a jacket, and then you can add this as a medal down below, or you could use this image as like a fabric ribbon and place any of these fun greetings inside, along with some regular ribbon to drape down. And the greetings are kind of unique and nice to have on hand. So to begin our stamping, you're going to need a yellow ink, and I'm using Bumblebee. And then you're going to stamp on the 2 die cut pieces, the large circle and the rectangle. To start, get the ribbon image. We're going to stamp that on the rectangle, and then we're going to get the circle image and ink that up and stamp that in the center of the circle. Next, we're going to fussy cut out the images. The reason I decided to fussy cut out these images is so that the images have a little bit more of an interest on the card instead of it just being on a square and circle piece of paper, and really helps step up your card. Don't miss September's Paper Pumpkin Kit, Hello Pumpkin. This kit includes autumn-themed treat packages that you can use for both fall and Halloween. Subscribe between August 11th and September 10th, and the link to subscribe is listed below in the description box. Okay, so those 2 pieces are done, and now we can stamp our greeting in the center. So for this one, I used the You Deserve a Medal, and I'm just going to use my large Pacific Point ink pad, and I've got my greeting on in clear block, and I'm just going to stamp that in the center. And now we're ready to put our card together. So I've got my card base. I'm just going to fold that in half and use a bone folder to make a nice crease. I'm gonna add the blue argyle pattern to my card base with some liquid glue. The reason I'm using liquid glue is because it gives me a little bit more flexibility in placing this piece on my card base. So I'm able to move it around before it is 100% adhered to my card. So just to make sure everything is lined up with those edges, just gonna go around and kind of press everything in. Looks like this might be cut just a little bit on the small side, on that side. Just gonna try to slide it down a little bit. Okay, and then use the bone folder to smooth out that glue so you don't get any bumps. Okay, so something like that. Next, we're going to add the green watercolor piece. And place that on your card in the center. You can just line it up with some of the patterns that are being created with that argyle pattern on the back, just to kind of make sure it's lined up nice and straight. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually add the metal to the center, and then I'll apply the things on the ends, and that will help me just make sure everything is nice and even. These are popped up with some dimensionals. So I'm just using the ones that came in the kit. Just gonna place one in the center for that one. I'm gonna begin by adding this near the top in the center. Just make sure it's nice and straight. And then this one just goes over that bottom ring slightly, and then it just make sure that your greeting is nice and centered, and there's a little space here at the bottom as well. So now you're just going to carefully remove the vellum leaves. And then with the glue dots from the kit and a pickup tool, you're just going to apply some glue dots to some inconspicuous areas of the leaves. So I've got, I don't know if you can see, but I've got one right there and one right there, and then I have one on the leaf that's under the metal. So you're just going to arrange those pieces of vellum. So they're going to kind of sit like this on our card. And so just kind of get an idea of where you want to place the glue dots. So I'm just going to flip each one over, and I'm going to, using my pickup tool on the putty side, I'm going to slide from the edge of the glue dot and then slide it off the plastic. And then I'm going to add a glue dot to this bottom leaf on the outside edge, because when that's flipped over, it will be under the metal. And then I'm going to just kind of add some to kind of where things would kind of come together. So when these leaves and this little berry image kind of come together, I'm going to add one there, and the same here where the leaves and the berry come together. And you just need a couple, you don't need a lot, and it will hold your piece onto your card. Then I'm going to do the same for this one. Just a couple glue dots on each one is perfect. Then using the pointy side of your pickup tool, go ahead and remove the paper backing. So I've got that all done. And now I'm going to add these to my card. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the end of my leaf to be at the bottom of this green watercolor paper. And then one of my leaves here to kind of come off a little bit. So I want that to become more at an angle. So these berries here are kind of also near the bottom. And Something like that. So it's kind of swooping. So the stem is kind of swooping out and around. So it's just coming right to the edge there. And then this sleeve here is off the cards just slightly. Then we'll do the same here. So this is going underneath the metal. It's kind of coming in a little closer to the center. The berries are touching the bottom. And then this stem, sorry, it keeps getting caught underneath that metal. There we go. So the stem is kind of swooping out, touching, and then coming back in. So it doesn't need to be exactly perfect, but just kind of to try and give a little more symmetry to that card. And then the very last thing we're going to add are some of the gold stars that came in the kit. We're just going to place 3. I'm going to add 2 up here on the top left area. I'm going to kind of cover a little bit of the vellum, and that's just going to hold on to that vellum to the card too. And then the same over here. It's going to be on the vellum and off the vellum to just keep everything together. So I've removed the paper backing from those glue dots, and I'm just going to use the putty side to pick up some stars. And I'm laying those over my glue dots. And my card is all done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, like, and share. Visit creativechelsea.com for more information about Paper Pumpkin and to start getting your monthly kit. Have a creative day. Bye.